Hey everyone, just finished an unbelievable tracking day with the incredible guitarist Ted Quinlan here at Humber College in the studio. I wanted to take you on a tour of one of the more intense guitar setups that I've ever been involved with. Obviously the guitar is an instrument that is typically coming out of one amplifier. It has a mono signal, but we wanted to find a way to immersively capture it. So let me take you on a signal chain path. Guitar hits the pedal board. The pedal board goes through in mono, delay effects, other effects as well, but the final effect is the Strymon Big Sky. Now that does have the ability to break a mono signal into a stereo path. So one of them goes over to that Princeton over there. Sort of a reissue Princeton. We've got the Samar VL37A and a 57 on that. Now on this side, I could have just gone into the Princeton, got stereo amps, and mic'd the room. And that is what we did, except I also wanted to have a mono capture of the guitar because there are times where stereo was not necessarily going to be the appropriate capture. Now, that is something that could get reamped with the DI, but it makes such a difference when you hear things in real time, when the artist can react to tone. So what we did is pretty awesome. We went into this awesome radial box, which is the JX44. Now the JX44 can take the guitar input and then send it to 4 different outputs plus a DI. It's sort of a live stage box, but I use one in my studio for a bunch of different routing purposes. So guitar left of the Big Sky goes in there. Then from there, I can send a signal to the Princeton. So now we have, our stereo room sound. And, matched mics on this side, the 57 and the Samar, so a 57 and a ribbon mic. And this, Ted Quinlan was playing some beautiful sort of drones and pads and things that were very immersive. And we got a good solid volume in the room so that then we could also capture the room. Because when you walk into this room and you hear the guitar amps, you don't hear it like this and this up close. You hear the space, you hear this room engage, and this is an unbelievable space. It's a very inspiring sound when you enter. So we have DPA 4006s up in a sort of a quad square at an appropriate height that sounded good, and that's feeding the height channels of the array, and also a pair of Coles 4038s doing, because they're bidirectional, they're sort of not capturing this direction. I'm just getting first order, like just reflections to be able to put those in the rear speakers. And so not only do we have the close capture of these 2 speakers, which are in left and right when we're monitoring, but also the room. And so suddenly you don't feel the need to even put that into reverb. It's already filling the space. Really inspiring sound. And then the final touch. The JX44 is also sending out through the tie lines into a different room where we have another Fender amp, which is one of Ted's digital Fender amps. Sounds unbelievable. And that's a mono capture. So there we have a 57 and a 121, your classic. And it's got the left channel of it. It's being sent using the whole radial system to be able to send it a long distance. And now we have L, R, and C. So an LCR of 3 guitar amps, all fed from a similar signal with this immersive capture, and it just sounded unbelievable. Of course, we reached actually a total of 17 channels for a guitar capture. Of course, that's extreme, although that is the nature of the project in many ways. The ability later to be able to choose a stereo image of the source that's being played, or a melody on a mono amp, or a potential blend, or even for certain pads, not even necessarily going to close mics of the amps at all, and just having the height channels dependent on how it's going to get mixed. So that was the tour of the guitar rig. Quite an incredible experience to get a chance to set this up, and most importantly, again, it was an opportunity for, Ted's here in the room, he's experiencing the stereo amps and getting inspired by that, and it affects the way that we play. So that's the guitar rig tour, and hope you enjoy the music. Thanks.